Now we'll talk about a second class of pump called B-class pump. It is a proton pump, although its name doesn't start with P. And we call it B-class pump because it is mostly found in vacuoles inside the cell. Now, the fascinating thing is this does not need phosphorylation in one of its residue, even though it uses the same energy source, which is ATP. So this is the difference as compared to P-class pump, and that is why it is not called P-class pump. Now, this is a multiple subunit protein, a multi-subunit machine, which means there are many different kind of protein present in the same machinery. Now, as we are seeing, this is like a holder present on the plasma membrane, and although I am representing it in a 2D, soon I'll be showing you a model, but imagine that all the rings I am showing are present like in a circle. So I hope the lower part you can see how it is arranged. The upper part is also arranged in a similar fashion, and there is another protein connecting both the parts. Now think that the lower part is in an environment where the proton concentration is low, and the other end across the membrane has a higher proton concentration, although I have not shown it. Imagine that. Now, by breaking down an ATP to ADP and an inorganic phosphate, the inorganic phosphate will be released instead of binding to the machine, and using that the machine will pump the proton ion across the membrane into environment which is already having higher concentration of proton. Think about lysosome which needs a very low pH inside it, or any other vacuole which needs high concentration of H plus inside it. Now in such cases, to maintain that low pH, this kind of pumps are required, for example like plant vacuoles or lysosomal membranes, so that they will keep pumping proton inside. If we look at the names of these subunits, then the ring that is present inside the plasma membrane is called C ring, which is composed of multiple of these small like the name is in smaller c, and there is a reason to that convention. The attachment is called a D, while the rings at the bottom are called A and B. They are like two like dimeric ring, and they are in capital because they are part of a different subunit called V1, while the one that is present inside the membrane is called V0. So here is a 3D structure of this machine, and I think this is the V0 part that is present inside the plasma membrane, like attached in the plasma membrane, and you can clearly see the various subunits, the C subunits, and also the one that kept it, that tethered in the plasma membrane, and the connecting link that is D in very light green. Yeah, that is the D. Now I will show you a video that I found from a research work, and this is a 3D model of showing how it functions in reality. So you can see ATP being broken down into ADP and phosphate, while the blue dots, which are the protons, they are crossing the membrane through the C ring. So the tethering molecule is also present. Now the third class of pump, called the F pump, is complete opposite of B pump. It is also called an ATP synthase because it does the opposite function. The ATP synthase produces ATP from ADP and inorganic phosphate when proton crosses through the membrane from higher concentration to lower concentration. Here an inhibitor molecule has blocked the function of this machinery, as you can see.